BTC Maxis bagged another one, and it's bad for us XRP fans. We're going to talk about what Jerome Powell said. Hint, hint, he didn't resign, and no, there were no emergency rate cuts, but he did talk about crypto. We're going to talk about Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple's RLUSD. We'll talk XRP price action at the end, along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
There's some green up on the screen, but I would say we're still in the friend zone. Unless you're in BTC, where you're at 105,000. But before we get into the crypto news, you know the deal. Your comments come first. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. Isaac Dorsey's got a good question that a lot of you got. He says, I'm confused. How do you make money on stables? I pay $1 and get $1. What am I missing? It's based on the yield. See, a lot of these stablecoin providers give you yield on the money you park there. Some of them offer you up to 15%. So let's say you buy $100,000 worth of stables. You get 15% on that juice. So after a year, that 100,000 is worth 115,000. That's why so many bigs are parking their money into stables, because they're getting juicy yields. So Isaac, great question, but that's also why players park their money there. So you got to think, you park your money in XRP, are you getting a yield on your XRP? No. You park your money in HBAR, are you getting a yield on that? No. But in stables, you do. G Bishop says, tell it the way it is, Klaus. That's why we've come here to watch you. I don't want to play with my money. I want to know what's really going on. Thank you for all the great content. Well, I've got even more for you. What else do I got? Jesse Clay says, figures. Why would anyone want to buy full price when OTC is offered? I'd love to sell the bag and take the full chunk and buy OTC for an immediate profit. Yeah. Bigs get the inside track where retail gets screwed over. Y'all ready to have some fun, learn some crypto, maybe laugh along the way? Let's do it. Bitcoin's at 105,538. ETH is 2647. By the way, ETH leading the charge. BNB 663. XB 221. Fed Chair Jerome Powell stressed the need for crypto regs, signals no rush to cut rates. But bro, what about all those players on YouTube and Twitter that said emergency rate cuts? Yeah, they're just trying to screw you for views. Hopiumatics. And they're trying to sell you products. But what did Jerome Powell talk about? During his keynote at the Fed's Division of International Finance 75th Anniversary Conference, yeah, he's going to announce his resignation at the International Finance 75th Anniversary Conference. People are just stupid, okay? Powell devoted a notable portion of his remarks to the crypto industry, an area the central bank is increasingly monitored as it edges closer to the financial mainstream. Acknowledging the turmoil that has plagued the digital asset market from fraud to instability, Powell reiterated the Fed's position. The U.S. needs comprehensive and consistent regs that encourages innovation without compromising financial stability. He argued that clear guidelines would help legitimize the space, weed out bad actors, and give both institutional and retail participants greater confidence. The comments arrive as federal agencies, including the SEC and CFTC, continue grappling with how to define, regulate various parts of the crypto economy, from stablecoins to decentralized platforms. Remember, the Senate is taking care of stablecoin debate right now. The House is doing it with the rest of crypto. Beyond that, Powell said, look, no need to rush when it comes to cutting rates. Now, here's what I'm talking about where players are trying to screw you over. Crypto Sensei said this, breaking. The U.S. Senate is gearing up to vote on the Genius Act. No, that's not true. They're gearing up to debate the Genius Act. Now, here's the funny thing, okay? This is how people screw you over. Here's a perfect example. This is him posting on Twitter. What's the first post under this? You ready? Now, mind you, he writes in there, Ripple's RLUSD is poised to shake up the stablecoin space, highlights XRP. So he's trying to get like the Ripple fans, the XRP fans in there. The first post is, from Crypto Sensei. While you're here, you might as well grab my 1-hour free course that'll teach you everything you know how to be a pro in crypto. So you watch the free course and then you pay for the paid course. You see what I'm saying? You're the product there. You get my point? So these players out here keep throwing in RLUSD, XRP. Look at my free course and then pay for my course. You are the product. That's why these players keep throwing in all this bullshit about XRP and RLUSD. I bring you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. Want some bad news? Here's some. Solar Bank announces BTC Treasury strategy. Why is it bad that Brad Garlinghouse wants to extend the olive branch to Michael Saylor? Well, this is exactly why. Toronto, June 3rd, PR Newswire. Solar Bank Corporation wants to do what? Well, they're a leader in distributed solar energy, battery storage, and clean energy. They are now doing a BTC strategic reserve. Here's the key statement here, okay? They want to integrate Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset inspired by MicroStrategy's multi-billion-dollar Bitcoin strategy. There you go, okay? Inspired by MicroStrategy's billion-dollar BTC strategy. So as Brad is like, look, Bitcoin is not our enemy. Wrong, Jackie Thomas. Bitcoin is. Here is why. Bitcoin is gobbling up the retail money. Bitcoin is gobbling up the institutional money. Do you see article after article about players out there going, yo, we want to add XRP to our strategic reserves? No, you don't, girlfriend. Do you see article after article about companies wanting to gobble up BTC as their strategic reserve? Yes, you do. Do you see Saylor ever out there saying that crypto outside of BTC should be used as a strategic reserve? No. You see Saylor say that there is only one crypto out there. The rest of them are scams and schemes. So as much as Brad wants to say, hey, look, we need to work together, no. That is not a good thing. Why? Because Solar Bank wants to do what MicroStrategy is doing. Because MicroStrategy believes it's BTC or bust. Retail money. If someone has money in retail and they're like, hey, where should I put my money? And they go on Whacked Out Crypto Twitter and they're like, yo, Saylor, where should I put my money? Where does Saylor say? He says BTC and that's it. He goes on here and he's like, well, God, all these people are putting money into BTC strategic reserves. I don't see any XRP strategic reserves. That's my point. We're all fighting for retail dollars, whether you're BTC, XRP, Doge, Sol, ETH. We're all fighting for the same piggy banks, retail. We're all fighting for the same institutional money, aren't we? And that institutional money is flowing into BTC. When I go over here into CoinMarketCap and I slide down into the crypto ETFs, what ETFs are listed? BTC and ETH. Do you see an XRP ETF? No, you don't, girlfriend. Do you see a Sol ETF? No, you don't. Why? Because the only big ones are BTC and ETH. So we are fighting for the same money. So if there's $1 billion out there, what do you think Saylor's doing? Do you think Saylor's going, you know what, everyone? You should spend some money on BTC. You should spend some money on XRP. You should spend some money on Doge. No, he's saying no. Put it all into BTC and everyone else. So I get it. Brad's trying to play nice in the sandbox, and I admire that. He says, Bitcoin community is not our enemy. They're really not. If they do well, we're going to do well. We might do better. It's not a zero-sum game. And I get that. When BTC goes up, it brings the rest of the market with it. But the problem is, BTC is blowing the doors off of it, always touching all-time highs, always luring in new investors, and we're not seeing that with the alts, aren't we? XRP, friend zone at the 222 mark, BTC near all-time high. How far away is BTC from its all-time high? How far away? Not far at all, is it? No, it's not. In fact, let's do that. Let's go to some of these filters right here, and let's see if we can do that. What was BTC's all-time high? Like 111,000? XRP like 3 something? We're like $1 something. We're like 50, 60 something cents away from that. We're nowhere even close. In here, I did the math and made it easy for you. BTC is 6% away from all-time high. XRP is 42% away from all-time high. So yeah, it is a big problem. Let's keep learning. Ripple's flagship stablecoin approved for use in Dubai's key financial center. The Dubai Financial Services Authority, which oversees financial services within the Dubai International, has officially accepted RLUSD as a stablecoin within its hub. That's pretty cool. With this recognition, RLUSD joins a select group of stablecoins that got regulatory legitimacy in both New York and Dubai. That's cool. Cool for the ecosystem. Does it help out price? I don't know. Let's go back to this over here. Some players are close to their all-time high. ETH, 46% away. That's not good. Sol, 45% away. Doge, 73% away. That's not that good. Cardano, ooh, 78% away. You see my point? My point on all of this is some players out there are gobbling up institutional money. BTC has always been close to touching these all-time highs time and time and time again. XRP isn't. You're seeing how many of these players always gobbling it up. Go to Saylor's Twitter account. And look, we can do that right now. Let's go to Twitter, okay? Let's go to Twitter right here. We're going to go to Twitter home. We're going to go to Michael Saylor. Is there any tweet from Michael Saylor that is not orange? No, there's more orange. Is there anything in here talking about altcoins? No. There's stuff in here about ripping altcoins. Everything in here is orange. Oh, look, more orange. Oh, more buying. Oh, I'm the Bitcoininator. Follow me if you want to live. It's all about BTC. He doesn't say anything about the altcoins. Orange Jets. You see my point here? He's not being an advocate for crypto. He's being an advocate for BTC. Upgrade your armor with the BTC logo on it. He's not talking about upgrade your armor, get into crypto. No. He's saying teach a man to Bitcoin, not teach a man to crypto. When banks finally bless Bitcoin, the experts agree it's a good idea. That's why I'm saying he doesn't advocate crypto. Bitcoin is power. You see what I'm saying here? So like I get it. Brad playing nice in the sandbox. The problem is, where is the money flowing? The money is flowing to BTC, not XRP. And I'm talking about retail money, and I'm talking about institutional money. You're like, but bro, where's your proof? My proof is that BTC is only 5% right now away from all-time high, and we're 42% away from all-time high with XRP. Every freaking day, I'm sharing with you articles on other players getting into BTC as a strategic reserve asset, and we're not seeing it with XRP. There's a big problem here, everyone. It's in the retail side, and it's in the institutional side as well. And I really do. I understand wanting to play nice in the playground, hang out in the sandbox. Why can't we all get along? But when it comes to money, you gotta do what you can to make sure you get that cut of money. And right now, the BTC maxis are just wiping the floor with the alts. And don't get me wrong, is where we're at right now better than where we were last year? Hell yeah, it is. But like I just showed you, BTC is 5% away from the all-time high, and the alts are stuck in the friend zone. 5% away from all-time high. Look, even he's upset. He's like, Klaus, this really sucks. We should be doing a lot better. And I agree, we should be doing a lot better. Hey, buddy, how's it going? You're getting big. And the problem is, you're getting really big. Oh, I love you too. Okay, I know. Okay, get down, buddy. Get down. The problem we got, though, is this whole BTC thing just keeps swallowing up more companies that are dumping money into their corporate treasuries for BTC. Hey, sweetie. And it's not stopping. And Saylor is not going to ever change his tone and say, you know what? You should add BTC and some XRP. You should also add some Doge. You should add some... No, he's not going to do that. So, I get it. Brad is saying, look, we should all work together. We're not a threat, etc. It makes perfect sense. Survival sometimes means you gotta play nice with others. But sometimes you gotta fight the bully. And sometimes you gotta take the bully down. And sometimes it means taking a risk. 4D chess... Sometimes David versus Goliath means David has just beat the shit out of Goliath. And I know BTC is a big Goliath in this space. And it doesn't help when you have Loomis and other players in the government right now swinging hard for BTC. But let me know what you think down below. Why? Because I share your comments at the beginning of every video. And I pick them from random times of the day too. Sometimes I pick them in the morning. Sometimes I pick them in the afternoon. But I pick them from like the relevant videos. Like I don't pick videos from like weeks and weeks and weeks ago. I pick them from like relevant times. So there's that. What do you think too about people out there trying to use you for views and stuff? Oh, RLUSD and XRP happening. By the way, check out my free course. And then after the free course where I teach you how to crypto trade, then go for the paid course, which goes in my pocket where I really don't teach you shit at all. Yeah, it's pretty sick, ain't it? It's just how the space is. But don't worry, I'll keep bringing you the news, good, bad, happy, or sad. Why? Because choo-choo bitches is why.